Hi, welcome to my series of videos on the HP 41C calculator and peripherals. I'll start by showing you some of my collection, and then we'll take a closer look at the various devices in more detail. Here's the collection I've got of calculators and peripherals of the HP 41. So down the front here you've got 41C. Now that's with the steep keys. The keys are actually, the bevel on the keys is steeper than the likes of this other 41C next to it, which is a later model where they shallowed the bevel off there to make it a little bit easier to read the alpha characters in blue there. This is a CV, as is this one here, so it comes with the built-in memory, whereas the C versions need extra memory. Memory modules are plug-in modules, so we've got a single memory module here which adds 64 registers. Quad memory adds 4 lots of memory modules. 41 CV here as well, so 3 of those, and the 41CX, which has the time functions built in as well as the extra memory. So yeah, and vinyl covers for those. Here we have the card readers with some program card holders here, and little wallets for storing the modules in as well. Over here, keyboard overlays for the different modules that you can get. Also, there was a high contrast version as well to slip on there, just to give a little bit better contrast. You've got a dust-proof, splash-proof cover that can pop on there as well. Interface loop modules, so that plugs into the modules slot on the top there. Yeah, gives access to the likes of the tape drive printers. So we've got tape drive and another tape drive here. This is the standalone version of the printer. That's the peripheral printer. And we've got the thermal printer here, which works with the interface loops. Also the IL RS232C interface, 2 of those. So you can interface with the serial port in your PC. And the video interface here as well. And keep an eye out in here, there's a Where's Wally, which is basically a non-HP 41C item. If you can spot it, let me know down in the comments if you do pick it out. So we've got power packs, so AC power packs here, battery packs. That's a rechargeable pack to go in the back of these, so you can plug in the calculator to the wall socket and it'll charge the battery as well as allow you to use it at the time. More battery pack boxes, a reserve power supply charger, cards for the card readers, blank cards, and thermal paper. So we've got standard black thermal paper, and this I found is blue thermal paper. I've not been able to source any of that, but I can get still the black. Yeah, I've also got a lot of books, documentation, pamphlets, etc., which I'll put a still shot up of the extra bits and pieces that I couldn't fit on the table here. So yeah, that's pretty much the collection that I've got in a nutshell. Might be a couple of bits missing. I've got a couple of bits and pieces that I use for robbing parts out of, like sort of a printer that I took parts out of for my HP 97 to get that back up and running because its printer blew up. It's a common problem with that one. And card readers as well. I've got a card reader that's in bits, which I've been pulling parts out of to get these two card readers working here. Yeah, so I'll show you more in detail close up. I was going to do a still shot of the manuals and the documentation, but I thought it's probably better to do it on video. So first of all, this is the owner's handbook and programming guide for the 41C. This is the manual that I used when I was first introduced to the HP 41C. My father had one, and yeah, I spent a lot of time poring over this manual and learning how to use it. Absolutely brilliant manual, really nicely laid out. It's printed on really nice paper, thick paper, and reasonably colourful. And yeah, I learnt to use the calculator and worked my way right through that one. Very good index. Can't get much better than that for indexing. Oh, just a printout of a plot there. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. If you want to, I'm pretty sure you can download this manual. So if you don't have the calculator or even the manual, you can download and install an emulator on Android. In fact, I've got it right here. So turn your Android phone into an HP 41. It works pretty much the same. It's done an emulation. So if you don't have one of these calculators and you want to experiment with them, go ahead and grab this free app for Android. I'm not sure if it's available for iOS, but yeah, if you grab that and the manual, that's a really good start. And also what comes with it is a standard applications manual, so it gives you just a few examples of useful things, and can actually teach you a little bit about programming if you follow through, and you can dissect the programs or modify them to improve them if you want to. That's pretty handy. Operating manual for the experienced user just goes into a little bit more detail on in certain areas like memory allocation, alpha input, editing programs, branching and looping, flags, etc. Pretty handy. That's the manual that comes with the CV, but it's also applicable to the C. Really just it's the same manual, it's just really, but it just goes through some of the differences in the memory allocations, etc. Over here I've got the box for the CX, and in there is the owner's manual for the CX basic operation. So the CX has time functions and the extra memory, etc. That's pretty handy. That's operation in detail, owner's manual here. A little bit different to the 41C manual, but still really good. Not spiral bound though. I really like the spiral bound book because it just lays flat no matter where you put it, whereas these ones sort of tend to want to close when you're using them. So yeah, really good. Apparently HP won all sorts of awards for this manual, and I can see why. If you ever get the chance to get your hands on one, it's certainly a good thing to get. The card reader has some of the accessories have these cute little manuals. Again, really good quality, very well laid out. goes through some compatibility with the HP 67 and the 97. I have a 97, I've got a video for that, so I'll link that down below anyway. Printer, same sort of thing. I'll go through those devices in more detail later. This is a system dictionary for the IL, the interface loop, and it looks like it's a third party, yeah, Corvallis software. I haven't really gone through that one, but will at some stage. Yeah. Now some of you get quick reference cards for some of the modules. So that's the quick reference card for the IL module, and that just has some of the functions and whatnot that are available with that extra module. Extended I/O, financial, surveying, extended functions, extended memory, little manual for the memory in different languages and whatnot, English and Spanish, French and whatnot. CX, quick reference guide. Quick reference card for synthetic programming. Haven't got into synthetic programming, so not sure what that's all about at this stage. Another quick reference, extended, I've got some double ups here. Quick reference to the card reader. Extended functions, oh yep, some double ups. Printer, time module, which is an additional module that you can plug into the version C and the CX to give you the time functions similar to the you can plug in the time module to the C and the CV to give you the time functions that are available on the CX. Yeah. Accessories pamphlet, pretty hard to see there probably, but shows you some of the accessories and whatnot. The wand, which I don't have, which will read barcode listings, so you can quickly just swipe across a barcode and it'll input the program into the memory without having to type it in manually. Interface loop, some other bits and pieces for the 71 and the 97. There's a pamphlet of some sort, just a sales brochure. Have a look at that. Software application packs, yeah. More software manuals, software sales brochures, accessories, service cards. Oh, now these are little stickers. You can see some of them have been pulled out, which you can pull off and customize your own overlays. There's blank ones here as well, so that if you create a program and you have a lot of keys on it that are used for input, for special functions, etc., you can write on them and stick them to the overlays as required. Pretty handy. Carry case, which I got with one of the units, quite handy. Plonk in the printer and or the tape drive and the calculator in there, and little HP man bag. Pretty cool. I picked up this DVD too, Museum of HP Calculators. Really, really good. It's just packed two DVDs, packed with manuals, different languages, sales brochures, all sorts of bits and pieces. Yeah, really essential if you want to have a wee look at some of the HP calculators and what service manuals and quick reference guides. Yeah, really handy. Also really enjoyed this book here, The HP Way. It's pretty cheap on Book Depository or Amazon, I guess. That just tells you the story of Phil and Dave built the company and the company mantra and the HP Way. Yeah, highly recommend reading that if you're into HP. Yeah, just one final thing. I found this in my collection there. It's a recommended retail price list from 1980. The New Zealand dollar was probably worth 50 cents American, maybe a bit more. Not sure about that. There's the CV at $698, so that's a bit dearer. Plug-in modules, 106A memory modules for the C, $64. Thermal printer, there you go, $935. Obviously they've got it on special there at $590. But yeah, card reader, $486. So quite expensive, I think, at that time anyway. Quad RAM, $194. The wand, $304. Keeping an eye out for a wand. Some of the modules. Oh, the cassette drive, check that out. That's $1155 plus GST. Printer, plotter. Yeah, that's probably a big printer. That's $1155. So yeah, cables, extended functions modules, $182. Extended memory, $182. Timer, interface card, $716. 97A. Here's a price for the 97A. Now I've got the 97S. Yeah, $1,821. It's getting up there. Battery pack 72, battery recharger 45. So it gives you a bit of an idea of what the price was in 1983 in New Zealand. Yeah, and for interest, 10C 178. Oh, here we go. 12C financial 311. You've got the 15C. There's the 32E advanced scientific 158. 33C programmable 267. This is my HP 41C, as you saw in my collection. It comes in this nice vinyl pouch, and this is the first model in the series of HP 41 calculators. There was also the CV and the CX. I'll go through those in other videos, but you might notice that the pouch is a bit bigger than the calculator. That's because you can get an optional card reader that clips on the top here, and you can slide the whole lot into the pouch here. At the moment there's just a little foam packing down there just to keep the calculator up in the pouch. So yeah, nice little calculators, these, programmable, and you've got your basic functions at the top here, your on off switch, user functions, program alpha, which I'll go through in later videos. This is just a introductory video for the HP 41C. Your numeric keypad here with your various operators and enter key, and your functions up here, and shift key there to get your alternate functions, the likes of what's printed in yellow here along there. So they can also be upgraded with extra memory in these little modules here. So these two here are just on the The back ones are just blanks. There's nothing in these at all. But you can see, you might be able to see down in there. If I take this other one out. So at the moment I've got a quad memory pack here, which brings the total memory of this the C version up to the same as the CV and the CX models that came later, and the extra functions module there that I'll go through in later videos at these. So blanks are just when you're not using the modules. There's 4 receptors for that, the modules there. Little blank port here on the side, which is just for a power pack to it's a power adapter that plugs in to charge a rechargeable battery pack. This particular one has actually got alkalines in it at the moment. So there's just 4 N size batteries. So yeah, probably just over half the size of a AA, I guess. So yeah, so and you've got your battery terminals. These calculators are prone to corrosion on these terminals. They can be repaired if they're not too far gone, but this one's not too bad. And you can see here the little port opens up for the external power supply. So if you're using external power supply, there's a battery adapter that uses NiCad batteries, just charges those. So yeah, and so if we turn it on here. Now I'm not going to go too much into the use of the calculators as such. If you want a tutorial on using RPN, which is the reverse Polish notation that a lot of the HP calculators use, you can have a look at the HP 97S video that I've done. I'll link it in down below, where I go through RPN in more detail. But just to give you a basic idea, if you wanted to say add 5 and 6, you would enter 5, type 5 on the keyboard, hit enter, and then 6 to add 5 and 6, and push plus to add the 2 together with the result on the screen there of 11. So yep, fully programmable. I have some programs already in this unit. If you want to get a list of the programs, we go shift catalog here, which is shift enter, and 1 gives us a list of programs there. So you'll see the labels flicking past. I can slow that down by holding a key. So these are just some programs I've got on the unit. So the initial state of these calculators, you know, when they come out of the box, basically is they've got no programs in them whatsoever. And I'll clear this one by just holding down the arrow key, the back arrow key, and turning it on, and you'll see memory lost pop up on the screen there. And if I hit the back arrow key again, we can clear it back to 0. If I do a catalog 1, you'll see there are no programs. It popped up with registers 46. That's the amount of memory that's allocated to programs. There's also memory for data, storing data as well. There's 46 registers of memory for programs, and 17 registers for data. Now that's the default setting, and you can change the partition between the two to give you more program memory and less data, or vice versa, depending on what you want. And this particular calculator at the moment's got the quad memory pack in it, which expands the memory from 64 registers, which is the standard HP 41C, to 300 and 20 registers with the quad pack, and that's 4 memory packs and all in one pack, and each memory pack has 64 registers. So yeah, so we've got 46 program registers here. Now because I've got the quad memory in, I can execute a size function which tells me what the current size is, and a question mark there. So executing an internal program called size, it's a query, and it'll tell me that there's 273 registers allocated to data at the moment. Now, you saw before I've got 46 registers here, that's for programs, and I can change that quite easily, the allocation quite easily. So if I say I wanted to put big programs in, and I wasn't using much data, as in storing data in registers, I could say, okay, well, let's allocate say 10 registers for data and the rest for programs. So if I do that, if I execute size, this is slightly different, it doesn't have the question mark, so it's not actually querying the memory, it's actually setting the memory now. Execute size, and it's going to ask me for a number, so I want to put 10 registers in for storage for data. Right, now if I go back to program, you'll see I've got a lot of registers there, 309 for programs. So thanks for watching this first part in a series of videos about the HP41. I'll go through some of the peripherals and some of the other models and bits and pieces. So yeah, thanks for watching.